DG ran the famous Knight strategy back in the day, and this was a post on Reddit. So thanks, Reddit. Appreciate it.
Right. Nice. Shout outs to Reddit.
To the
You may have heard of it.
On giving. Well, this game hopefully will give us a pretty good one here. Fnatic versus TNC. TNC on the ropes, down 1 game in this best of 3 series, and they're going to try their hands at a support CK with Tim's running it. And they'll need to get something going here early on into this particular matchup. Try to get things going, trying to get some of these towers taken, try to get an advantage, because they really need it against Fnatic, against an Enigma played by Universe, against an Abed Timbersaw. This can be a very dangerous game. It can get out of hand rather quickly. They'll find DJ. Tim's almost gets the reality rift, but I think he got fogged just at the tail end. DJ's got to try to keep juking. They wanted to chase. They still can. He gets him, but where's the follow-up? Armel. I mean, what are they going to do? They have no other way to disable him at this point. Witch Doctor was way too far away. So all Tim does is he wastes 50 mana, which again, 50 mana, who gives a damn? They'll be fine. They'll just back themselves up and get both of these banners on the other side of the map.
Poor Witch Doctor. He's just so slow. Tim's has a Windlace. He's a fast hero to begin with, 345, and Cuckoo just kind of drifted behind him that whole time on the Witch Doctor. So they know that the CK has Reality Rift skill to level 1. Looks like it will be 2 bounty runes apiece.
Yes.
We've seen... Is this the 2nd or 3rd Timber game that we've cast? In this event? Might be the 2nd. 3rd?
We
okay.
definitely have cast one before. Whether we've cast another one, I can't actually remember.
I think the Timber pick is decent this game. There isn't necessarily a ton of lockdown for it, but so he doesn't have a ton of lockdown to use on his team to set up his combos, but in terms of keeping him locked down on the TNC side, they're also a little bit light on the control potentially. You know, if he buys like a Yule's, then he can quite easily dodge the CK stun, something like that, and then at that point it might be a bit difficult to lock him down. We've seen this matchup before though, and to me it didn't seem like the Timber didn't completely annihilate the Dragon Knight, but DJ's also getting involved here, so maybe Armel's not going to have such a fun time. And the other thing that we talked about that time was that the Timber just kind of stops the DK from ever getting to the tower, which is annoying for the Dragon Knight.
But he does, like you mentioned, push up pretty far on this side of the river usually because he's keeping these waves pushed out. This is something you talked about. What a toss back. Armel needs to be a little careful here. I want to get caught and
body
killed.
Blocked.
He has no dragon blood. He's a nice tango. He's got a clone blade to run with.
Oh my god, they're glyphing the wave.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous prospect already for TNC. At the beginning of the game, Abed's level 2. They're behind the tower and they're going to stay here. The good news is Armel has Breathe Fire, which kind of does a little bit, but it's level 1, so it's not the best. DJ is just hitting him with a tree, and this DK is like, all right, listen, I don't have level 2 Dragon Blood yet. You need to stop.
What is this courier doing here?
Armel, he's not fast enough, sadly. If only he was, but not quite. Meantime, they're going to find top lane Pile Die. Static Link, he does have a lot of decay stacks, but this is probably not going to be enough as the Rock Rush comes in. Cuckoo will secure First Blood. Very good news for them to start this game off, but they need a lot more of that, I feel like.
Yeah, they're... I guess this is one way to kind of help the Omni Knight out a little bit, give him the 1v1 down bottom against Universe, but I think Universe is going to farm a bunch, and of course he's denying all the time as well, so this should be a lane win for him. Mid's kind of looking like a little bit of a win, and they're putting pressure on Envy, but I feel like Fnatic are not that worried about sacking.
They're totally fine with this. This is something they've done a lot of recently. Just sack Envy, or not sack him, but allow him to get farm on his own, get him those defensive items, keep him alive. And if he dies a couple of times, no big deal. We saw it last game. We might see it more this game. In fact, he avoids the second gank. He could have died there. They get a couple more auto attacks off, but Envy's able to get back. Maldek's not able to take him down, and he sells right back up. He has 7 last hit, so it's not really like going that poorly for Envy in the top lane at this point.
No, I mean, Pi did die, but Undying's certainly one of the best tri-lane versus tri-lane heroes in the entire game, so he's going to be able to hold down the fort here. Well, oh my god, DJ found a double damage. All right.
That's not even fair.
Take a few womps.
Good thing this is a DK. Otherwise, this guy would be feeling pretty bad right now. He's still feeling pretty bad, regardless of who he is. Yeah,
they're just denying. Sandwich getting up in Universe's face a little bit. The battle has moved away from the creep wave, so maybe Omni Knight's actually gonna do all right here. I guess we'll have to see. He's a little bit low on mana now.
Yeah.
Oh, up top.
looking to make a go. Potentially the static link. They have found Pylai Die, maledicted up, but I don't think they can chase. Hims is out of mana. Raven has a Rocket Barrage, which he will use. It kind of gets split. Cass is going to bounce nicely, though, and that'll secure the kill. Raven actually gets it, too, which is pretty good. Something they needed again, so. All right.
So to
Abed
me,
has 25 last hits, by the way. Sorry, that's just
Yeah.
insane to me. That is an insane number of last hits for Abed.
yeah, I think he's missed very few CS so far in this lane, and I don't know. To me, this game seems like it's going to be about whether or not TNC can end the game before the Enigma just kind of takes over, which I don't think is easy, especially when you're pushing into a Timbersaw, right? He's just going to be, even if he does nothing else this game, I bet it's going to be cutting waves, split pushing, and spamming Chakram. Just always going to slow down TNC's roll a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely need to get some pressure early on, but it's not like, I mean, they only have a DK. They don't have the most push in the world. It's just this hero, and I guess maybe CK gets Phantasm at some point in the future, and that helps, but that not even really. Level 1 Phantasm doesn't even that much for pushing, so. All
right, hear me out, Mott. They get an Ags on the CK, and then he just makes a shitload of Dragon Knights, and that's how we, that's the answer here somehow.
It's gonna work for Tim's. He'll get there. If he ever gets that much money, I would be pretty amazing. Static going out of Tim's, which means they're probably not going to be able to go any further here. He's lost 77 damage, which you don't want to run into, that Envy has. And DJ is also rotated top 2 with the threat of a tree grab and a toss that you need to deal with. So this is going to be a bit more dangerous now in this top lane. So they're starting to get Envy a bit more farm, and he's only like 3 CS down to that of Raven. And, he has yet to die this game also. The supports have died, but Envy has not died. Pylai has died twice. Not that big of a concern for Envy.
Yeah, Envy's doing all right. Sandwich is catching back up at bottom now that he's getting more points up. He's not really taking very much harassment because he's got the degen aura. He can kind of run at the Eidolons. Oh, another drain up top.
Maledict comes out, Pylai Die. There's the Chaos Bolt, Reality Rift at the same time. A lot of damage being dealt, but the Soul Rip is too much. The Rocket Barrage, the toss in, Tim's will fall. Pylai Die gets the last swipe with his auto attack. Oh my god, that Soul Rip was insane. Level 2 Soul Rip, by the way.
Yeah, but Gyro just couldn't commit. He only had one Rocket Barrage worth of damage, and he'd already been linked up. So DJ and Pylai Die looked at the Maledict and were like, and? There was no damage to follow it up at all. Abed, once again, just a slight problem with the Timbersaw. He is up in the face.
1 second stun. Maledict does hit. They have a cask ready. I think they've already used it, actually. Breathe Fire, good stick charge. Maledict and an auto attack should bring him down. Chakami wants Cuckoo. Is he going to find it? Yes, he will. So close to getting that kill and keeping Cuckoo alive.
And down bottom, Black Hole used by Universe, but he's low.
That's 2, and they're going to maybe find a Rocket Barrage kill. Universe to split up between the creeps, but it's not going to be enough. DJ with a toss to the Plasma Field. Now Sandwich goes for the Purification. He has no mana for it. TP out. The Static Link's still going. He's in a lot of trouble. He'll try to juke and jive. He's got Quelling Blade to get through, but the tower hit and the toss should do the job, and it will. The kill gets split between them, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade going the way of Fnatic.
That was a pretty big commitment for the Gyrocopter. Only level 4 at the moment, poor guy. But Universe, nice Black Hole, very low HP. Looks like he's going to be going for a Dominator on his Enigma this game, so pretty push-centric. And TNC do manage to get some damage on the mid-tier 1 while the Timbersaw is dead. So like I've been saying, the Timbersaw applies a bunch of pressure, but then also you're mega far up in the lane, and that kind of thing can happen to you once the supports are let loose.
Malefist top lane, 2 second stun. Reality Rift back in. Purification. Universe getting chased down. Rocket Barrage homing missile hits. They'll drop the Tombstone. Universe has no wand charges to work with, and the Soul Rip was down on cooldown for another 13 seconds. Not to mention they get 125 gold just for killing that Tombstone. Very good rotation. They keep Raven up here. They rotate Sam H, who has plenty of damage, and they find themselves a kill. So nicely done.
Yeah, this is a little bit more like it for TNC. They're winning the early game. They've got the tools to be able to take some towers. The Enigma is going to be... It's a slightly slower farming build than we sometimes see, or I guess a little bit of a less greedy build from Universe than we do occasionally see, since no Midas or anything. You know, I think Arcane Boots into Midas Rush has been very common.
Yes.
But he's taking a slightly different path, so that is going to delay that, like, God mode later on.
Reality Rift. Breathe Fire, 2-second stun, Purification back in 3. Abed with 7 stick charges to work with. They're going to TP and Pilot Eye's got the Sword ready. He'll use it on them, and Abed's going to be tough to turn on now. In fact, the Chakram's still going. 9 wand charges for Armel. The Breathe Fire comes up, but the Chakram really slowing him down. Riata coming in, the Chakram again. They secure the kill. Great TP from Pilot Eye. It's just so tough to kill these heroes and commit and bring them down. He wants Pilot Eye. He's got the Solar back at 2. In the meantime, DJ finds Cuckoo, I believe, in the bottom lane. And that's just a free kill. So, again, Pilot Eye, very good early rotations. Abed, so tough to bring down. They would need another hero to do it. Not quite able to do so.
Poor DK looked very squishy there, getting decayed up and getting spammed by the Whirling Death as well. And it's the instant that I praise TNC and say that the early game is going well, Fnatic find a bunch of kills across the map and actually take charge of the net worth lead. So,
Still early,
not
though.
fun. Yeah, still early for sure.
Oh, but this tower is just dead. This tier 1's going to get dropped down, I think, in this next wave by Abed. And I don't know if there's anything they can do about it. Abed will probably get the last hit on it, too. Range Creep's doing some serious work now. And he actually can't get back in time. He just wanted to make sure nobody could deny it. Top lane push coming in. Eidolon's coming out. Universe has his black hole back up in 15. Raven has called out. Needs to be careful. Malphus is at the ready. Homing missile will hit onto Universe. That'll be a raindrop blocking it. Abed is at the tier 2 tower. He does not care. They're still working on this fight potentially brewing in the top lane, so they can't really rotate to kill Abed despite him being very far up. And that's a big issue, is not being able to kill this Timbersaw.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have a ward scouting some of the TNC supports up top, so Abed knows that he can just make these plays and they'll have the opportunity to get out. He's at least got the 2 points up in the Timber Chain now, so a little bit more survivable if a gank does end up coming his way. And the Hooded Defiance also picked up.
I don't think that the ward caught the smoke, luckily enough. But Abed probably knows that they're rotating over because they're off the top lane at this point.
They're bringing everybody. Ooh, scan.
Yeah, the scan hits, and now Abed's just running at this point. He's up to the high ground. Sandbach is going to try to chase him down, though. Purification comes in. He's got level 3 Degen Aura. Nice Riata back in as the Timber Chain comes. It's a 4-second stun, but they need more damage. They've got the homing missile. They've got the rocket barrage. Good sword, but Pilot Eye, you need to get the hell out of there now. Time to run, my friend. He's got nothing left. They call down, and they miss. It was a blonde call down from Raven. A good effort, but nobody over there. They'll take the Tombstone. That's 150 gold for Cuckoo, which he's pretty happy with. But finally, they bring down Abed, but it's more room for NV bottom and, of course, for Universe in the top lane.
Yeah, this is... I mean, these kills are nice for TNC, but the big concern is that I think they're the team on the clock, and they are still yet to take a tier 1. Maybe the next rotation will be a little bit more successful. I mean, the Gyrocopter so far, I feel like he hasn't really been able to do a lot. Raven is quite a good aggressive carry player, and I like the way that he's been trying to move around and set things up for his team. He was obviously involved in that last Timbersaw kill, but maybe a little bit less than TNC were expecting to get out of him from the early game.
Yeah. The good news is that Hell of a Mask of Madness, I think late game too, you can count on Raven to hold that thought that might be dead. This is a really big kill if they can find it. Pilot Eye might not be close enough. He knows it. He's going to back himself away. Couldn't even get near the Soul Rip, let alone try to save Envy. So very big kill there. So as you were talking about it,
hole up top, Omni Knight in trouble.
Sam H, can he get enough damage he can? That hole still had plenty to go. Very big kill. The Eidolon's going also has the Helmet of the Dominator with the Centaur Conqueror. Very nice pickup onto Sam H. That is a solo hole used for a offlane. Meanwhile, Cuckoo, he's on the run. Can they lock him down? Chakram's back up into Armel coming in. Ooh, good stick charge. Might save him for a moment, but I'm not sure how much longer. Abed decides he can't chase, and he won't, and Cuckoo will get up to the high ground. Try to get some vision down, and he might find a regen rune over at the top rune spot. Go for it, Cuckoo. Man up. Yeah.
No fear. Nice. God, regen is so slow these days. Oh well. And yeah, Abed's like, wait, what's going on here? Where's my rune?
It's gone. But it's still a 1k advantage for Fnatic, but the issues that you were talking about, kind of the game slowing down, whereas TNC need to be the ones to pressure. Look at this Fnatic vision, by the way. They have a line of it going across the map, and it's scouting out a lot of the TNC heroes. So that is pretty nice. Yep. Meanwhile, the courier might die to Abed. Couldn't quite get there in time. Armel is able to micro it, get himself his drum, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, all this vision is making their lane shove moves like safer than anything that TNC can pull off, so they're getting kind of stuck on their side of the map. Oh, losing this mid tier 1 tower is got to be so annoying for TNC in the early stages, just because it's allowing Fnatic so much freedom to move around. Raven hiding in the trees down here.
That plasma field, if NV waited half a second, that might have been dangerous.
Looks like maybe a tower trade, but they might be able to set up a backstab down here.
They have a glyph. They're TPing a few in. And here we go. Call down's going to come from behind. DJ and Envy need to get out. They're going to try to focus Envy first. Now they've got the static link up. DJ, the Mask of Madness is going. They're trying to break the link, but not before he's still 78 damage. 4 seconds stun into Pilot Eye. Deathboard will come through. Good cast bounce, and Pilot Eye will fall for this. Can they get anything else? Abed has rotated in too little too late. Meanwhile, the tier 1 tower is still alive. They have popped the Elder Dragon form, so at TNC they want to get a tower or some pressure out of this.
Yeah.
And
they already took top. That's the thing.
Oh.
They like Fnatic thought it was going to be a trade, but TNC really nice positioning from Raven, just waiting very patiently in those trees, had the call down at the ready, and that's going to set TNC up for 2 quick tier 1s. So that map control deficit that I was just talking about, they very quickly find a way to remedy that and get the ball rolling again.
Pims is stalking 2 heroes bottom lane, now or mid lane, excuse me, and trying to find maybe something to set up on. They're going to push top for the tier 1 for Universe. Does he have whole 28 seconds? He also has a blink dagger, by the way, for Universe. Raven's running bottom lane. Can they defend this top tower? There is no glyph. They used it for bottom. I think they're going to just maybe, well, I don't know. They're TPing in Raven now. They have a ward here that's going to spot this rotation. This tower is dead one way or the other. DJ's kind of running at Raven, so is Abed. They get the blink Malefice off, but there's nobody in position to follow up on him. Now that's the blink reveal for Universe, but he was standing in the wave anyway, so they knew one way or the other. But maybe they find Tims. Tims is in a very awkward position. They're going to try to go on this. Universe is a good target. There's going to be a 2-second stun. Avalanche comes in. The toss combination. They've got the call down. Universe setting it for Black Hole. Doesn't have the mana. He's got the soul ring. Can't get it off in time. And now DJ will be next. And just like that, TNC, they strike. It was going to be close. They could have maybe turned it around with a Black Hole, but he saves it. And probably for the best as well. Down for 38 seconds.
Yeah, I think even if he'd gotten it off, he probably would have died to the Purification landing with Sam H running in from the side.
Abed going to run right into Cuckoo. Cass comes in at the perfect time, but the Chakram Cuckoo needs to be careful. There's the Dragon Tail. He'll pop the Hood of Defiance. A lot of that damage mitigated. Death Ward coming in. He's just going to TP out, and that's that. So that was just good vision from Fnatic, making sure they can keep Abed safe with these wards, and he TPs out immediately.
He's being such a nuisance. One thing I want to point out about the Dominator on the Enigma that I only just really kind of thought about seeing Universe. Not only is it really good for the, being able to pick up the additional creep, maybe he can drop a Centaur Stomp after a Black Hole, or he had the Alpha Wolf just before for a faster push, but giving the Eidolons a little bit of extra attack speed means that they split earlier in their duration, and you get a longer portion of the uptime with 6 Eidolons instead of 3. Which means that
next level thinking.
Yeah, the total damage output is like and the total pushing and farming speed is so much higher if you give the Eidolons that little bit of extra attack speed. I hadn't thought about it, but that's pretty sick.
Man, what a game Dota 2 is, honestly. Just some of the craziest
so cool
stuff. They're gonna smoke Blink Black Hole at the ready for the Enigma. Need to be careful here for TNC. The Shrine will go. Sam H is a nice target. They're going to find Tims. I think they don't need the Black Hole for him. They'll try to Reality Rift, but he's dead. Still a support kill, 32 seconds. But again, they still have Hole if they want to keep pressuring or trying to find something. In the meantime, Arma will farm top, and Raven getting closer and closer to his S and Y.
And the map is just always shoved. The TNC made some progress taking those tier 1s, but Fnatic are still just pushing the lanes. This is, again, I think part of the problem with having the Omni Knight as their offlaner. It's just really hard for them to catch. There's about to be 2 heroes that they need to avoid because Armel's picked up his Shadow Blade, but Fnatic have been able to get away with what they've been doing for the last 17 minutes because it's only the CK that they have to keep tabs on. And if they know where he is at any given time, then everybody else is safe to go and push the other lanes. But big smoke. Dragon Form already used.
Smoke. They're going to find DJ first. Again, not the target you want, but it's still a nice gank that can maybe lead into something. They're going to try to pressure mid with this. They have to push out the wave first. Tier 1 is still available, which is a good sign for TNC. They can take this and get some extra gold going their way. There's a very slight advantage right now for Fnatic, and I mean slight. It's just about 1,000 net worth. Maybe we see Fnatic set up for a black hole here. They've got the blink hole at the ready for Universe. Something to keep in mind. It's getting ready to go. Raven and Armel would be the two targets. They're splitting up pretty nicely. The plasma field. Envy will try to bait this potentially. They go on him. They collapse, and then Universe.
Armel scouting.
Armel, the Shadowblade. Did he see Universe? I don't know. They're going to back up, though. I don't think they're going to be too eager to take this tier 1 tower, especially with the Tiny now respawning and TPing back in. I think this is a smart play from TNC not to get caught. But again, they don't get the tier 1 tower, which is another issue entirely.
Yeah, Dragonform used. I think DJ was hoping to break the... I think they had a sense that something was about to happen. He was hoping to break the smoke and then blink away, but didn't realize that the Dragon Knight had his Shadow Blade finished. So there you go. And now Fnatic with the counter smoke play. And they know that the Dragon Knight ultimate is down, so decent time for it.
Don't think the Radiant Ward spotted that, so this should be a successful smoke in one way or another. The target could be Tim's again. I don't think Tim's really cares if he dies. It's a lot like Tiny getting caught, but... Gonna Phantasm, send the illusions, try to get out, but the Malefice will go. Avalanche toss, Chakram. He tried Reality Rifting to Pilot Eye, can't really work. This is a long cooldown that will get, looks like 50 damage on a tower.
It's worth so little for the support CK. Like, maybe you make some cute illusion play. Actually, the illusion goes for the courier and almost gets it.
Wow, that would have been
that would have been so value. But all right, unfortunately, DJ is there in the neighborhood. So
we have Timbersaw with a Bloodstone. I'm just trying to check out on the items because I don't think we've talked about too much. The Yule's up for Sam H. He just purchased that. Oh, we talked about DJ's Blink, Universe's Blink. Anything else of significance Raven should have his SNY done. I think it's flying out of the courier now. So those are your items. And Envy, I think, is also building into a BKB. He is, and he's not too far away from it. So those are your big items that are available here for both teams.
Yeah, so the BKBs can make the Gyrocopter pretty irrelevant for a little bit there. He is starting to build up a little bit of right click. He's got his SNY completed. But the double BKB timing is going to be the big thing to watch for Fnatic. And I think they want to be able to take some fights soon so they can build up some more Bloodstone charges potentially on the Timber. So we'll see. Looks like tier 1 going to be taken, and then the backstab coming in from the rest of TNC.
Fnatic, no. They smoked literally on top of the mid ward. So Abed can just continue to split push with pretty safe merit. And he'll just keep himself out now that he sees Sam H TPing in. But they did get the tier 1, so the smoke's not for nothing. And they got a ward down, too. Not the worst thing in the world for TNC.
Yeah, the vision game from Fnatic has actually been ownage. Like that line of wards that you pointed out earlier, and just the general... They're not the most common ward placements, but they've been spotting smokes. They've been keeping tabs on the CK and now the Dragon Knight rotations. DK does go straight in for the Silver Edge. It's going to make Timbersaw's life a little bit harder if he doesn't already have those stacks up. But...
This time it's Cuckoo. This is the one support that gets caught, not Tim's. I'll turn this into a tier 2 potentially. And remember that there's always the threat of the Blink Black Hole. And the Universe is still sitting looking for a target.
That looks a lot to me like the I'm a captain death. I'm like, yeah, I'm walking back to the tower. I'm walking back to my team and I'm talking to them and I'm telling them about our plan and like what our item timings are and all that other kind of stuff. And you're like, wait, where's my hero? And then you just walk straight into the enemy team and happen to get picked off. I mean, he's the 5 position. It's not enormously impactful, but Fnatic once again, they shove the mid lane all the way out and then they go and steal a bunch of farm from the Radiant jungle and keep TNC pinned down. It's still a pretty razor thin net worth lead though.
Yeah, very close.
Now TNC with the Fnatic play, combining with the double damage spawning right in front of Roshan. Oh man.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick PD rune, honestly. Fnatic are trying to split push bottom and mid. I think they're going to check Roche now with Abed running over there. How close is this to death? It's dead already. Raven's got the Aegis. And now it's time to fight. DJ toss, have a combo. They're looking for Sam H. Sam H barely alive. Gets off the GA in time. The Static Link coming in. They've already dropped Pilot Die down. They're looking for more Black Hole. On to 2 from Universe. Where's the follow-up, though? It's just him alone. And it's not going to be enough. Universe is going to get turned on. It's 3 dead on the side of Fnatic. And Universe going to get dropped down. Raven gets the triple kill. What a turnaround. And are you kidding me? The Omni Knight lived? Are you serious? He was at 20 HP or something ridiculous. I cannot believe he survived.
Yeah, I think he got the heal off. Maybe managed to heals himself, and then, oh my god, that turned into a complete disaster. That DD Rune may be winning them the game.
Trouble. They've got the cast, the 4-second stun, and now he's dead for 30 seconds, seemingly out of nowhere. TNC, they're putting the pressure on, and see, they've just got a 3K lead now. They've got the tier 2, they've got the 3K lead. They still have the Aegis, they can keep going. They won't have Elder Dragon form for another 60 seconds, though, as it's about to finish off. Pilota has to watch as they do some chip damage to the tower. They'll pop the glyph. Maybe TNC need to be careful here. Still 10 seconds without the Abed Timbersaw, and of course 4 seconds without the Enigma, but again, no black hole. Now they're going to go top, and they'll take another tier 2 tower for TNC. What a turnaround fight there, and what an initiation, what a survival from the Omni Knight.
We have seen some intensely questionable Roshan decisions in this qualifier, but I think that is the best the best Roshan call we've seen. TNC a tiny bit behind, needed a big opportunity to break through, get the momentum going their way this game, and that was completely perfect. Sure, they got a little bit lucky with the double damage rune, but that's Dota, right? You gotta manage the randomness, and TNC now, I mean, they didn't claim a lane of racks, so I still think Fnatic, will be able to hang on the strength of their high ground, and the spam is just ridiculous, right? They throw down a Midnight Pulse, and then there's Chakrams clearing the wave nonstop, but TNC definitely looking strong now with a 6K lead out of nowhere.
Oh, here comes the Phantasm. The Illusion's gonna send.
All right.
I don't even know where they're gonna send this. Raven pops the Mask of Madness. Look at the flat cannon damage. Actually doing some serious work. DJ getting pretty low. They're gonna take the tier 3 tower. They pop the Elder Dragon form. Silver Edge is available. Toss back from DJ. They're going to try to find Raven. That's going to be the Aegis. No, the Purification keeps him alive. The Static Link now gets dropped down. They have the Tombstone there. Abed's going to Timber Chain, and they still don't have the Black Hole for another 36 seconds. If they want to keep going, they can. They bought back on DJ, Armel. He doesn't have a BKB to fall back on at this point, nor an Aegis. He's going to get tossed back. This is trouble. They've got the Avalanche. They've got a lot of damage to call down the Purification. They need to repel. They'll bring him down. It's going to be the Timber Chain that does the job. DJ in trouble. About to die back. They've got Abed, though. They're going to get this kill. He can't Timber Chain away. Dead for 36. And the DK absolutely fine with dying there. 3 down for Fnatic. They have to buy back into Pylon die. The melee Rax is gone. The range will fall shortly thereafter. What a counter initiation from TNC, and they might just be able to get the second set of Rax and get ever so close to that game 3.
I think I'm starting to see why TNC believe in this Raven Gyrocopter so much. He is absolutely owning Sam H. Now that we've gotten through into the mid game, not really caring so much about the Razor on the Omni Knight, and TNC just won't be repelled. Enigma does have his black hole ready to go, so it looks like TNC maybe going to show them a little bit of respect on the Fnatic side. But what went from a basically no lead game, have they caught somebody? Yeah, looks like Tim's dead.
Ooh, good reality rift, but Universe flank body blocked. Good TP, but the Eul Scepter is there from Abed, and he will be the sacrificial lamb. The DK going down. Man, Fnatic things were looking all right. They were like, I was like, oh yep, double BKB timing coming up. They'll probably win a fight because there's no real answers to the black hole, and then they'll build up some bloodstone charges and kind of settle in. And TNC have shattered any of those hopes and dreams. Like, you just look at the net worth lead, and it was nothing the whole game, and then TNC 15K out of nowhere. Oh, yeah,
man.
That's significant.
Yeah, and they're getting a bunch of items off of it as well. Like I'm not even sure if people are going to be so reliably killed off in the black hole anymore. Like, Gyrocopter's going to have a Scotty, Dragon Knight's going to have his BKB, so, and Omni Knight's got a Radiance. Yep. So 3 really big items coming up, and even Cuckoo managing to pick himself up a 4-staff. So even he's benefiting from some of these Rax takedowns.
So it'll be a lot. It'll be a lot more tough, but for Fnatic, they at least have some other items coming out. The black BKB is actually very close to being done for the Enigma, which is going to be good news. But and remember, you're only 1 set of racks down with a Universe Enigma. This game is not over. Anything can happen, really. But the momentum has severely swung in TNC's favor. Maybe just farm it up, wait for another Roshan attempt here. It'll be up in 2.5 minutes at the very least, and then we'll see how things turn then. But those are the big items we're looking for. We have the BKB now done for Envy. We talked about the BKB for Universe. and we'll see if that can't come up here in the next few minutes or so.
Yeah, the one thing that's kind of worrying for Fnatic at this point is how easily the Timbersaw is dying. I feel like Abed had like a fairly good game, but there is also this question mark about is Timber that amazing of a hero necessarily? The other thing that's really hard for Abed is Timber is such a, like, he's situational when it comes to the map, right? He's decent for high ground defense because of the Chakram spam, but then also your base is a really terrible place to move around with the Timber chain. So until you get like an Ags or a Blink, which kind of make up for that, he would much prefer, I think, to take a fight outside of his base, but I don't know if TNC are gonna give them that opportunity. So I think the Timbers, all I'm saying is I think that Timbersaw's net worth at this point is a little bit deceptive, perhaps, relative to his impact that he's gonna have in the next couple of fights.
I mean, it's mostly survivability items. He's not really going to get the same damage he could otherwise, like you were talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it kind of comes down to this universe enigma. Also, to a certain extent, the DJ toss combos, like we've seen, like he gets a toss back on somebody like Raven. Maybe they can get that kill. CMH obviously would be nice because you can allow him. Oh, speaking of which, they're going to go on Armel. Black Hole, but he gets the BKB off, and that is bad news. The GA comes out. Armel is going to be just fine. He's going to turn around, and TNC's Raven is giving him the Black Cannon and giving it to him good. The double kill for the Gyrocopter, looking for Envy. But yeah, there's no Black Hole. There's 2 dead for 46. They might get another, which is Abed. He's going to get dropped down. He also will be dead for 56, but he does have a buyback at the very least. But yeah, no Black Hole anymore. BKBs are down. It's go time to finish this game for TNC. Timber is forced to buy back. I think for Fnatic, you've got one good fight left in you. But that was a great turn from TNC. Great BKB timing, too, from Armel. Really good stuff there.
Yeah, I think Fnatic were hoping to like Black Hole one person and then toss somebody else in, but did not find that play, and that'll be the GG call. Ooh, it all comes down to game 3. Let's
Game
go.
3, last match of these SCA qualifiers, last best of 3, and it goes the distance to that 3rd game. And it's close. DNC showing that they, you know, regardless of what kind of timings they have to hit, regardless of who they're playing against, they find those timings.
Yeah, I think the drafting was also really good. They picked the CK and then they were willing to jam it into position 4 to get a really good hero, like, overall game matchup for Raven. I think TNC really like the Gyrocopter against the Razor, and for good reason. You know, in the early to mid-game portions, you don't really care so much about the static link. You can still burst down the Razor pretty heavily. It was good against the Timbersaw for the magical damage, good against the Undying for the Tombstone, and the ability for them to go kind of a little bit aggro this game. And even though the lanes didn't do amazingly, I mean, SamH, I think that turned out to be kind of a wash at bottom. They both got a bunch of farm, but in terms of the impact that they had after that, the Omni Knight looked really, really good. So well drafted, and then well executed, and then well done by TNC finding that double damage Roshan opportunity and completely winning the game in one fell swoop.